Yo. Gotta make sure I'm live. Make sure we live. Yes, sir. So this is the ASUS RG event.
Started becoming mainstream in the 80s. They were no longer confined to arcades and living rooms. Handhelds have been part of the gaming scene as long as consoles have, from simple LCD-based portables to cartridge-based handhelds of the early 90s. And as gaming has progressed, handhelds have progressed with it, but they always fell a step behind to their console and PC counterparts. Think about the early 90s. 8 and 16-bit games brought some incredible deep gaming experience to living rooms around the world. And while handhelds of the time were a phenomenon with games like Tetris and Pokemon, plenty of those handheld games pale in comparison to their console counterparts. They were a compromise. Sure, you could play Castlevania or a Street Fighter on the go, but they didn't quite live up to the standard of the originals. In the late 90s and the early 2000s, we have entered the age of 3D graphics,
yes, sir.
allowing adventure, fantasy, sports, and other genres to explore the entire new dimension of the play. Games like Final Fantasy VII and Super Mario 64 redefined their genre with 3D graphics and the full motion video. While handhelds of the time stuck with 2D alternatives to keep gamers happy on the go, console and PC gaming kept driving forward, with adventure games and first-person shooter embracing cinematic level of polish, first in 720p, then 1080p, and finally ultra-sharp 4K.
Indeed.
Handhelds always
8K is next.
Compromises. Play the best games at home and settle for whatever you can get on the road. Today, some of the latest handheld feel underpowered.
Oh, he throwing shots.
At the low resolution, like 720p, with disappointing frame rates.
Ooh.
We deserve a game changer in 2023, elevating handheld into Full HD 1080p gaming visuals. Say hello to ROG Ally.
Yes, sir.
A new type of handheld that can play the same AAA games in 1080p. All your games on one device wherever you go. With ROG Ally, you are limited to one platform. If it works on Windows, you can run it on ROG Ally. You can play your favorite games from Steam, Epic, EA, Battle.net, and that means there's no need to buy your games again. Access your existing library anytime and pick up your cloud saves right where you left off. The ROG Ally even comes with 3 months Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for free.
Yeah, they jacking that. They trying to get
Xbox
that Game Pass popping.
Offers different genres for you and your family. Hundreds of titles like Doom Eternal, Outer Wilds, and Hi-Fi Rush. You will always find something new to try. And when we say old games, we really mean it. Not sure whether a game is right for you? Wanted to try it before you download it? Launch it instantly with Xbox Cloud Gaming with no wait and no need to buy it upfront. You can even play your favorite mobile games on a larger screen, or relive your childhood with classic retro titles. If you can dream it, you can play it. We want to show you everything that makes this device so special. So we are going to talk about how we engineer its ergonomic design, run down all the specs, and show off the new software that ties it all together. Creating a handheld is no easy task. It's more personal and portable than a laptop, so every aspect has to be just right. It needs to meld with your hands, effortlessly contouring to your fingers and wrists. We want you to feel like it was just built for you, with every button and thumbstick carefully placed for a precise control. So we developed countless different form factors, repeatedly going back to the drawing boards to imagine, iterate, and
they got a black one?
body. Once we
Black one
found
look kind of
the
fine.
general design, it was time to really get down to business. We meticulously honed each component of the body for a comfortable, ergonomic feel that didn't sacrifice thickness or portability. Perfect control starts with easy access of your thumb, your most commanding fingers on the controller. We place all the buttons at the top half of the chassis using Xbox's tried and true asymmetrical stick layouts, so everything is within easy reach and feels familiar to gamers. We use a flat dome design for the face buttons to create more comfortable feel with distinct tactile feedback. We even place 2 extra pedals at the rear of the device, which can be mapped with in-game actions or use it as a Marco modifier.
Yeah, it was good, bro. It's another handheld. It's like the Steam Deck, but it's like
to reach with your fingers,
it's from ASUS. You know, ASUS make the elite products.
It's important that a handheld device.
Shout out to my boy Savage Wolf Gaming in the chat.
So you can
he just cracked 1,000 subscribers the other day. Go sub up to my boy Savage_Wolf_Gaming.
Has a subtle 2-degree slant to more comfortably.
He be streaming every day. I'm trying to be like him. Shit. That's why I'm streaming now.
In the corner provides a perfect resting place for your palms. Of course, you don't want the device to slip out of your hand while gaming, so we added some texture surface to keep the device secure.
Okay.
The engraved lines of the front secure the ally in your hands while giving it a slick look. The triangle texture on the handle gives you the firm grip on the device at all times. And each button is designed to survive more than 10
they machine testing it. Oh, okay. They're not playing.
Finally, it was important to us that the ally was lightweight. After all, you want to carry it with you everywhere you go.
Yo, they throwing shots at the Steam Deck for real, bro.
Originally, our prototype weighed 680 grams. In order to reduce the weight, we slimmed the heatsink fin from 0.15 millimeters to 0.1 millimeters and hollow out portions of the top case. Then we switched to a lightweight aluminum to both display bezel and battery brackets, strengthening rigidity and bringing the total weight down to 608 grams. Even with all the relentless efforts,
low-key, I think the age of gaming handheld is dead. Nah, bro, it's reviving, actually. It's reviving, like, no funny shit.
Thanks to painstakingly optimized
with these devices, it's reviving, bro. I'm telling you.
We wanted the Ally to provide a full HD 1080p experience, so we went with the 7-inch touchscreen to showcase those sharper graphics. At 7 inches, the 1080p resolution provides an insane pixel density of 314 ppi, providing a sharper image to all your games, movies, and streams. At 120 Hz, motion is smooth with minimal latency. Plus, as a handheld device, you expect to be able to bring Ally with you anywhere you go, even outside. That's why we push the brightness to 500 nits for a true game anywhere experience, whether you are on the train, in the backyard, or at the beach. For the screen surface, we turn to Corning's best-in-class Gorilla Glass Victus.
Yo, that Gorilla Glass is something serious, yo.
So no matter where
if you break Gorilla Glass, you really don't deserve the device you have.
Of everyday life, just like a handheld should be. Corning also coated screen with DXC, increasing surface hardness and minimize fingerprints. Most impressively, DXC reduces the intensity of specular reflection, meaning your gameplay stays crisp and punchy, even in the presence of direct lights. And with dual front-facing speakers featuring smart amp technology and Dolby Atmos, you will feel surrounded by the lifelike audio every time you drop onto the battlefield. Now, we know you are dying to see what this machine can do, so let's talk about performance. We are always striving for the top-tier graphics at ROG, and this time, we had some crucial benchmarks we wanted to hit. So we worked together with AMD to create silicon for the ROG Ally. Known as
AMD
Z1,
killing shit, not gonna lie.
It's truly a special piece of silicon. The AMD Ryzen Z1 is built on a 4nm process, Zen 4 architecture with 6 cores, 12 threads, and the latest RDNA 3 graphics on board. This APU provides incredible performance with the best power efficiency available in a handheld or a console today. Plus, you get the full support of AMD's excellent upscaling technology like FSR and RSR. This Ryzen Z1 chip blow past other handheld on the market. 2017's leading handheld saw only 0.39 teraflops of graphic power, while another device from 2022 managed 1.6 teraflops. But ROG Ally blazed an entirely new trail of 2.8 teraflops of graphic performance.
Oh, they killing the game.
They also work with AMD on an even more powerful silicon, the Ryzen Z1 Extreme, which is capable of whooping fast 8.6 teraflops, making ROG Ally closer to a home console than a handheld. The Z1 Extreme uses the same Zen 4 architecture with RDNA 3 graphics, but with 8 cores and 16 threads. Its insane power efficiency.
Oh, they got the Zen 4 and RDNA 3? Damn.
So in a world without ROG Ally,
future-proof.
Gaming was capable of 25 to 30 frames per second in AAA titles. The ROG Ally with Ryzen Z1 Extreme provides much smoother motion at 50 to 60
Nah, if
frames per
anything is
second
dead because
in
there
those
isn't
same
anything
titles.
out there.
But with
Can even go
Full
4K. I don't know if I'm
1080p
expecting
graphics,
much.
not 720p
My phone can go
graphics
4K. Why
you see
can't
on
this? So
other
I'm hating.
handhelds.
Fair
That
point.
means
Nah,
your
not hating,
game
but
looks
considering
sharper
there's any
with
bar,
smoother
I had to
motion.
do too much.
With performance
My
like
chip can go
this,
to 4K.
you can game anywhere, anywhere, on your own.
See,
with
but the
friends,
thing with
or in
these
competitive
devices though, bro, you
When you
don't
are
need it
playing
to be
solo,
4K
you are
due to
giving
the
yourself
fact
some
that
me time
the
with
resolution, the
latest
screen size is smaller, so
single-player
the
AAA
image is gonna look
games
crisper.
like Hogwarts
So you don't need it to be
Legacy,
4K. That's the thing.
2077,
You could get like,
or
but the
Death
FPS gonna
Stranding.
go crazy on that
With
though.
our purpose-built carrying case and Cetra
The
wireless
phones can't do
earbuds, you will
4K
be able to
gaming
take a break from the story and pick it back
like
up
this
later.
can
The
can
Ally
do.
can do more than just handheld
Like
play.
4K, because
Connect the Ally
most
to your
games you're gonna
TV
play what?
monitors. Grab a couple of controllers.
Mobile
and you have
games,
got a party.
it's easy to make a
Take on
mobile
your
game go
friends in
4K,
FIFA 23,
but a
go
actual
head-to-head
game,
in
nah.
Street Fighters, or dive into couch co-op with games like Overcooked.
The only thing I would say
to make this easy
is that
offer
it's expensive to
optional
get
adapter
into.
that plugs into Ally's USB
It's expensive to get into, unless you buy the cheapest Steam Deck, which is like $350.
Display at the same time. It even has a USB Type-A ports for other peripherals. Hooking up a mouse and keyboard for productivity, 4K gaming, or competitive esports.
You can get 4K with this
every
device right here.
bonus counts.
That device.
So
They're
we
trying
make
to
ROG
ship it
Ally
with that device.
compatible with Extreme Mobile suite of external GPUs. Dock your Ally at your desk and enjoy the power of NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090 laptop GPU for top-tier performance with extra ports for keyboard, mouse, monitor, Ethernet, and more. Incredible performance isn't just about graphics. The ROG Ally's PCIe Express 4.0
PCIe
SSD
4?
provides
Damn.
blistering data transfer speeds.
Damn.
With this super fast drive, the Ally boots up instantly and game launches quickly to get you right into the action.
Okay.
If you need more storage, the Ally's UHS-2 micro SD cards allows you to expand your game libraries as much as you want without compromising those load times. The Ally LPDDR5 6400 memory keeps Ryzen APU fed with data at the moment's notice, letting Ryzen Z1 Extreme puts its best foot forwards. And with the latest Wi-Fi 6E technology on board,
And Wi-Fi
you will see more
6.
consistent
They
download
going
speeds,
crazy.
more reliable cloud gaming, and uninterrupted video streaming at 1080p. Just like ROG laptops, we give you complete control over this performance with our turbo, performance, and silent modes. You can adjust TGP on fly to give yourself more game time, with up to 2 hours available from performance modes in AAA games. Turn it down to silent modes for cloud gaming and video consumption, and your battery will last even longer, giving you up to 6.8 hours of entertainment on your ROG Ally, even when you are away from the work
I
hours.
knew that battery hour was
Now,
going to be
let's talk
low.
about the secret sauce.
All that power,
ROG
yeah.
Intelligent
I
Cooling.
knew something was going to go
Every
wrong.
device we build needs to deliver maximum performance while keeping it cool and quiet. We need a different cooling paradigm to build ROG Ally. Since the hardware sits behind the screen, we have already learned how to master this type of cooling thanks to our experience with ROG Mothership and Flow Z13.
Oh yeah, shout out to my boy in the
Result
chat.
is something we call
Cardiac
our
arrest.
zero-gravity thermal system,
It's cardiac
which, thanks to its quiet
UH
performance,
rest.
also provides zero
Check him out too.
distraction from what's
He
truly
be streaming with
important
Savage
in your
Wolf.
games.
And he got his own channel as well, which he needs to start uploading content to, but that's another story.
Sitting upright in a chair, lying down in your bed, or however else you game. With ROG Ally, you can do it all with no drop in performance. To draw heat away from crucial components, we use a special kind of heat pipe, providing extra friction to increase the capillary force in the pipe, keeping gravity from interfering with the fluid inside. We also put fluid bearing in the fans, which is quieter, more durable, and create less friction when held in different type of orientations. The Ally's heatsink uses ultra-thin fins, as slim as 0.1 millimeters, which increases the total
you're right.
area by 10% for improved heat dissipation. And with dust filters on the intake vents, the inside of your device will stay cleaner and cooler. While typical handhelds uses a single fan, we knew that dual fan solution was going to provide more efficient cooling with less noise.
Yeah, the Steam Deck only has one
on
fan.
The left here is an ROG Ally prototype with a single fan, while the right shows the new dual fan system, keeping heat and noise to a minimum. Never settle for anything less than ROG intelligent cooling. Finally, we would like to talk about our custom software that pushes the Ally to the next level. We have been developing Armoury Crate for a long time, not just ROG desktop and laptops, but even the ROG phones. With ROG Ally, we are proud to introduce Armoury Crate SE, a special edition of Armoury Crate designed to help you play all your games on one device. We gamers are rarely satisfied with just one or two games. We have massive libraries, spanning multiple publishers and platforms. This freedom of choice is amazing, but it does split up your collection across multiple launchers.
Yeah, I don't like launchers. I hate it. I know it makes the game run more stable. I don't like launchers.
The program will scan your system for installed titles and provide shortcuts to each one of them.
Okay.
Armoury Crate SE also provides 3 different control schemes. You can use standard gamepad modes recognized by many games, touch control for Windows, and you can map the ROG Ally's button to mouse and keyboard for the games that support those inputs. And when you aren't gaming, you can use the thumbstick to navigate Windows desktop with a traditional cursor. You can remap buttons game by game to create truly customized experience that travel with you. Almost every button on Ally is remappable. Just open the profile for the games you want to customize and select the button you want to remap. Each button can have 2 functions mapped to it, with secondary function accessible with the paddles on the back of the device. It's not just buttons. You can customize the dead zone and range of your joystick, giving you more precision when you aim.
I always thought joystick was a wild thing to call a controller, but
you can do that. The same goes
but that's me being childish.
The trigger range is fully adjustable Armoury Crate. So if you want a weapon with a hair trigger for firing at moments of notice, it's all in your control. Customized haptic feedback built into the handles allow for incredible immersion, pulling you right into the action with whatever intensity you choose. We even included Aura Sync RGB around both thumbsticks, allowing you to choose your favorite lighting pattern for a unique style. Also,
yeah, this game is fire. Ghost Runner. I think it's on Game Pass.
Draw you into the game world. If you want to change settings in mid-game, you can press a single button to have a full control center at your fingertip. Adjust your performance modes, control scheme, lighting, and so much more with just a few taps. Access to popular game store, ROG Elite Rewards, and other crucial settings like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You can even record your game footage, then organize your library of screenshots and game recordings from one central location.
Oh, word? That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
To the social media
you can share it straight from the device.
Thanks to Windows 11.
Because it runs on Windows, okay.
Game, stream, or even work from this one ultra-portable device.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of launchers. Yeah, bro, me either. I'm not a fan of. I hate launchers. Like, it just takes up space on your computer.
So you don't have to type in long passwords every time. And with Microsoft's built-in security features, you are protected against all sorts of cyber threats. Windows Defender provides up-to-date antivirus protection, and parental control puts fans around your kids' screen time and web safety.
That's cool. That's cool.
We're incredibly proud of what we have accomplished with ROG Ally. Incredible performance.
They got Dolby Audio, okay.
and a huge selection of games from multiple platforms. We are confident it will be your next favorite handheld. We know you are all excited to get your hands on this revolutionary device as soon as possible.
Here we go.
And you want to know the price?
Yes, sir.
We're excited to announce that ROG Ally
2 builds,
the
watch.
Ryzen Z1 with 512 gig of storage will be coming soon to Best Buy.
Okay. They undercut the Steam Deck.
In Q3.
Oh,
ROG
shit.
Ally with Ryzen Z1 Extreme
$799.
512 gig of storage will be available for $699.
So, oh, shit.
Both models comes with 3
They not playing.
Game Pass Ultimate for free, making this an even better deal.
They not playing. They undercut the Steam Deck. And it's more powerful.
And team up with your ally as soon as possible.
Hey,
If you
yo.
want to make an absolute most
I
of
thought it was
your
going to be
ROG,
700.
It is compatible with every model of XG Mobile.
Oh,
We currently
shit.
offer 2 options. GC32 with AMD Radeon RX
I'm not buying this. This is too much.
60
I'm
XT
already about to
for
spend
only
$600.
$799. And GC33
That is affordable, though. So,
NVIDIA
yeah.
GeForce RTX 4090 laptop.
2,000, you might as well buy a
for
laptop.
$1,999.
You might as well buy a
And
laptop.
stick around because we will be joined by Microsoft and AMD in just a few
Let's
minutes
go.
to talk more about this
I like
incredible
that.
new device. Come on, let's go with me.
That's competitive. Oh, he jumped in the whip. He jumped in the taxi. Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
My son jumped in the whip. Hold on. I like that. $699 for the top tier. I mean, $599 for the top tier, and $499 for the one that's still more powerful than the Steam Deck, but not as crazy. Wow. ROG, they not coming to play. This was in development before the Steam Deck, I heard. Wow.
The new latest gaming
Now, Xbox, what y'all doing here?
ROG. Thank you for joining me here. We've got Sean from ASUS, Rowan from Xbox, and Frank from AMD. And you know, the first question I think everyone's wondering is, can the Ally handle Crisis?
I'm dead.
Absolutely.
But can it run Crisis?
Well, I sure hope so. This thing is a beast.
Oh, nah, he just hopped in the cab and ski skirt. I called it. Bro, I thought it was going to be 700, bro. And my son hopped in the whip and peeled off. That's tough.
The survey with our focus group, the number one thing that they wanted is a balanced weight distributed handheld devices. And the targeted weight was 600 grams because the current handheld devices in the market today are being too heavy. It's not something that they can engage for a very long period of time. So, you know, their game time, their fun time kind of got cut down because it's not comfortable. So when we first thought about the design target for ROG Ally, was really thinking about a device that can get into gamers' hands for hours of fun time. So weight was our number one thing.
You could pre-order the John right now. Y'all can pre-order the John right now.
Took our engineering excellence to drive the weights down. And then
I'm going to add the John to my cart right now. I'm pre-ordering this shit right now. Because I got money.
Experience with customers, navigating through controllers, navigating through keyboard and mouse and touch screen. And that's where it led to the end. We ended up implementing 2 ECs together, being able to run touch screen, keyboard, mouse, and the game controllers all on the same device in parallel. So those are the 2 things that we feel like was very proud of that what we have achieved.
Makes sense. Okay, so a lot of these devices run Linux or Android, but in this case, you chose Windows. Why is that?
Of course.
Say more.
He's like, of course. Like, why else?
Talk about Android first. Android games. Currently, we have a product called ROG Phone. It's a product that we launched last month, and that serviced the Android market. But for gamers like myself, you know, in the last 5 to 10 years, I have a collection of games in different platforms. I have games in Steam, I have games in Epic, I have games in other platforms.
Yeah, same.
A device that I would use for myself. I wanted to make sure the games that I already own can be played on this new handheld device. And there's no brainer. Windows is the most inclusive system for all the games. Everything that I own plays on Windows, right? And now there's Game Pass available for me to discover new games. And on the other side, as a hardware manufacturer,
he said, "Let me hold some." You stupid, bro.
Driver support
Listen,
in Windows is a
I'll let you hold some
super
after I pay all this shit off of my credit card.
feel comfortable that
Because that's where it's going.
all the new high-speed Wi-Fi, high-speed PCIe.
Cause,
will be supported
Cause I just
in
copped the
Windows,
burner.
and that's
The burner was like
no-brainer.
four
Windows is
something,
the choice to
but
go.
I could pay that off.
Well, I've been using this
I
for
can pay
a
that
little
off
bit,
quick,
Windows
and then
does
and
perform
then after that,
beautifully in this
then I gotta
form factor.
pay off
Let's
this.
talk
But
about some of the
I'm cooling.
enhancements
I'm
gamers
cooling
can
though.
expect with
I'm
this
on top of
experience
shit
from
now.
Windows.
Yeah,
I'm on top of shit.
It's great, certainly, to hear Sean talk about his experiences. And I think, you can certainly count on the power of the PC gaming community to kind of really push the bar. In terms of things we've been hearing and what we sort of see, familiarity is huge. Like,
Right.
you can pick up this device and you instantly know how to use it. You don't have to figure out how to navigate and get things connected. You don't need to figure out how to pair controllers and other devices to it.
Right.
You don't have to figure out where you can go find your apps. Like, all of those things are just the same thing that you are used to from the history of how you've been using the PC products before. Innovation, I think, is another really big push that we get a lot. I mean, tons of work goes into actually tailoring and optimizing the silicon with the underlying operating system to really make sure that you are getting the best performance and efficiency out of the experience. But I also look at things that we do too, like Auto HDR is a great example. You have this huge catalog and history of games, and you love those games, and they now actually play better on new hardware because we can actually light up those colors. And this is all done without the developers having to touch anything in the code base from the games that they produced, 5-10 years ago. And then I might just echo the openness. Like, to me, I think it's incredible that you can open this up and you have your Xbox app and all of your games and experiences there. You also have, your Steam store, you've got your Riot services store. So to me, the idea that we are putting the player at the center and we are acknowledging the fact that the player plays across a ton of different places in different form factors, I mean, that to me is great, and it's extensible. I think ASUS has done some great things. If you look at some of their command center investments, you look at the rest of the sort of applications that they put in there, it really lights up.
Game Pass is absolutely a huge part of the equation.
Oh yeah,
How do you
indeed.
think gamers will make the most out of this service?
Yeah, absolutely. So Game Pass for us is, it is the way that we are putting a whole collection of hundreds of titles kind of in the hands of players.
They
It's
coming
integrated
straight
into
for the
the
Steam Deck.
experience, with an application through the
That's
Xbox
crazy.
app. And to me, it's this collection not only of what we produce with Xbox Game Studios, so first party, but you also have this huge collection of third party games that are accessible. And we've put a lot of energy into those partnerships. And so with Game Pass, you also get to be, your EA Play membership. You have a bunch of membership-only light-up experiences with Riot, like League of Legends are all kind of great examples of that. So to me, it's this blend of what you're really familiar with. You can go pick up the device and instantly play Forza Horizon 5.
Indeed.
But then you get to discover all kinds of things that you wouldn't have otherwise maybe even thought about trying to play. Sean and I were talking before we started this recording, and he was talking about how excited.
Yeah, that jacket kind of flea though. Hold on. Y'all see the jacket?
He was incredible, and it only
My son drippy.
Kind of became this big thing, I think, partly because Game Pass gives you an opportunity to explore in a way that you wouldn't otherwise.
My son
have had.
drippy.
Never would found it if the Game Pass wasn't there.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And do you see the feet? Hold on.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the hardware.
Nah, he
thing,
drippy
Frank.
today.
RDNA 3, Zen 4, massive generational leap every single time. How do you guys do it?
Well, thankfully, we've been building tens of millions, hundreds of millions of gaming devices now for over a decade. So Xboxes, PlayStations, desktop computers, laptop gaming computers, and so many other devices. And we kind of know what we're doing, thankfully. And we're really proud of RDNA 3, which is our latest graphics architecture that we just announced it in November. And here it is already in this device. And what's really fascinating about RDNA 3 is it's 50% more performance per watt. That's 50% more efficiency than just the prior generation. And it's perfect for a device like this. The timing of the architecture of RDNA 3 and what the goals were for the ROG team with this device couldn't have lined up at a better time, because it's really that engineering excellence and everything we're doing with that architecture and that silicon and the process technology behind it and everything coming together at the perfect moment to enable us to get the kind of gaming experience we're delivering with this device, which is full high definition gaming. Some of the most popular immersive PC games at over 60
frames per second.
That's never been accomplished before in a type of device like this. So it's really
Okay.
just a phenomenal accomplishment.
He watched his
to
words. He
deliver
said in a type of
performance
device like this,
and
because
efficiency.
Steam
And
Deck
that's
runs
a
on
huge
Linux.
challenge that
So
the RDNA 3
he's
is
saying this is the
delivering.
best
Can you talk at all about
Windows
what the
handheld device.
of the Z1 chip?
And he not lying.
Well, you know, the team at ROG and Sean especially always like to give us some very ambitious challenges.
Thanks
And,
for accepting the challenge.
And this was nothing less than a very ambitious challenge, as usual. But I think the team at ASUS and ROG know that it's really our engineering excellence that enables us to be able to respond with an answer to the challenges that they bring us. And when they came to us and said, you know, these are the goals and these are the ambitions that we have with the Ally, we looked at our entire portfolio of technologies, the timing of the new technologies like Zen 4 and RDNA 3, and what the mission was for this type of a device. And our engineers went back and they started designing and defining this product specifically for this mission. And the mission it's pretty ambitious because it's not just how do you deliver the performance and the efficiency to be able to play games for hours on end in this highly mobile form factor, but Sean and the team wanted to also scale it to being able to be a desktop replacement type of solution as well with the XG Mobile. You
Right.
can attach the XG Mobile and like ultra boost your graphics capability even higher than what's built in.
Yeah, you talked about 4K, Savage.
The scalability of that challenge.
If
is
you
really
get that
something
mobile
that
joint, or if
our
you already
engineers are
have it
really
because it's been
excited
out already,
about, and that
you
ultimately
can
is
go
what lends
beyond.
us
You can
to
go
defining this
4K,
unique product here for
60
this-
frames.
Can you talk at all about, you know, overcoming the challenges of developing this really tight power envelope of the 30 watts?
Yeah, you know, it is a big challenge. Thankfully, we've been building highly efficient and highly performant APUs now for over 5 years. You know, if you think about what gaming laptops looked like, and you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they were pretty thick in their form factor, and they could be 30 millimeters, weigh 6, 7 pounds. And what we started to do at AMD is really change the game around what kind of performance we can deliver in thinner form factors and really helping make gaming laptops more mobile. And we've done some amazing work together with products like the G14.
My fault. My
which
allergies
is
is kicking
my
my ass. If y'all
favorite
can't
product
tell,
right now. It's what I
my
carry
voice
with
is
me
hoarse.
everywhere I go. And if you
I've been
look at
taking my
that
meds,
product, it's a 14-inch laptop at an incredible form factor, an incredible size and weight, and the performance is just amazing in that. And it's thanks to those challenges and that work that we've been doing together for the last 5, 6 years that has enabled us to gain the experience to take on this next challenge, this next evolution in that challenge. But look, it's our Zen architecture. Our Zen architecture has really disrupted the market in what
It has. It really has.
is possible in these lower watt packages, these lower watt TDPs. We've been able to deliver it now in 45 watts, 35 watts, and even lower, 15 watts. And with this challenge in 30 watts and the kind of performance that we're delivering here. And then you pair that with our RDNA 3 architecture, which again is cutting edge, just announced in November of 2022. And we've been uniquely able to combine those two things into one chip like no other company's been able to do before. To take on the challenge of this product. And I think it's really a really interesting inflection point in our industry, because it's the first time that we're seeing
This is a game changer for sure.
in a package like this that can deliver the kind of gaming experiences across the entire Game Pass portfolio of 720p, 1080p, 60 frames per second. That's just been unheard of up to now.
You know, that power efficiency makes the Ally an insanely good device for cloud gaming.
Great,
as well as
great value proposition.
But
Great
when
value
you talk about
proposition.
Xbox cloud gaming, where do you see, a device like the Ally driving that forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to think about who is the customer of this going to be. And if you think about that, it's pretty fascinating, because to me, this is like the ultimate mobile accessory for somebody who is a PC gamer. And you have this huge catalog of games, and PC Game Pass certainly helps you with that. But with Game Pass Ultimate, which, ASUS is actually, kudos to them, put 3 months of PC Game Pass free integrated into the Ally device purchase. So Game Pass Ultimate, you now actually unlock a bunch of console games. And so now you can actually, as a console player, this is also my ultimate mobile accessory. And so I can actually now use this to take all of the games I love with me on the go. And so now you
Facts.
have not only the PC customer, having these mobile experiences. You have console customers having these mobile experiences. So to me, that's really unique. Like, I get pretty excited about the idea that the device is now finally catching up to the content. Like, for a while, we've seen the same games in both of these places, and now finally you actually have a single device that's capable of kind of lighting up both of those experiences and bringing some of those player communities together.
What I love about Game Pass too is how you have the cloud option or the local install option as well.
And I just pre-ordered my John.
Maybe
It comes out June 13th.
Or you're on a short
I don't think they're gonna charge my card
bus
until
trip or
it
something,
ships
you only
though.
have 20, 30 minutes or something. You have Wi-Fi.
Go to bestbuy.com
can
if you want to pre-order.
Something new. You can discover something new without having to wait to download and install and make the investment in all that time and space. And I think that's really unique about Game Pass and really unique about what this device offers.
And you just get more time to try out different games. That's through cloud, right? So a huge benefit for me.
And there's hundreds of
I love this
native
music
cloud,
that they got.
Like that's a really compelling combination.
It's not just time too; it's also accessibility.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Incredible
absolutely.
accessibility towards games.
And there's a difference in battery life. I think you'll see, right? If you have a good internet connection and you can play the games on the cloud, you're going to get longer battery life because there's less burden on the product
G- itself.
Silicon is efficient.
Yeah, and the Silicon is very efficient, but obviously processing that at a data center and at a server is and just sending down the already processed feed for decompression is going to be a lot more efficient than rendering it locally on the device. But that flexibility, it's I think the first device of its kind to ever have that type of flexibility, and that's really, really compelling. It's just a really great value proposition.
So do you see continued use of APUs in this form factor, like long term, and like what do you think the evolution is going to be in this?
It's interesting because AMD acquired ATI, a graphics company, over a decade ago, and it was really the vision was to be able to make APUs, high performance and highly capable APUs, and that's led to us being able to do that in ultra thin laptops, like we talked about earlier. But I think this device really demonstrates the realization of that vision from over a decade ago, where it's about being able to do what's never been done before and enabling form factors and use cases that have never been possible before in our industry. And here we are. It's a very proud moment for our company because it really helps to rationalize to folks like that original vision and opportunity that we saw in acquiring that company, making that investment, bringing the companies together, bringing the intellectual property portfolios together. That has led to us developing some of the most amazing gaming consoles that are out there today in the market, including with our friends at Microsoft. And now this is like the next.
That's a power move right there.
Of what's possible.
AMD, ROG,
Sean, we talked a lot
Microsoft.
about,
It's a power move.
Gaming on cloud and gaming on the go, but you guys also included the option to connect the XG Mobile to this device.
Right.
What led you guys to want to do that?
Yeah, so Xtreme Mobile was a product that we developed for gamers like us. So Xtreme Mobile was first introduced 3 years ago, and before Xtreme Mobile, all the external graphics are like desktop type of graphics cards. When you need to power the desktop graphics card externally, you need an enclosure plus a heavy power supply. Right? You need 400 watts of power supply.
Can't take
just
that
to power the
everywhere.
graphics card. If you want to have external graphics card to take with you, it needs to be portable. So it never made sense for us. And then when you think about the bandwidth limitations, back then was Thunderbolt, right? You don't get the full power that the performance was able to pump out of the graphics card. We wanted to make a better product, and that's where Xtreme Mobile was introduced with the ROG Flow series. We have the masculine gaming laptops that has all the power you need, but we also have thin and light convertible 2-in-1 gaming laptops like the ROG Flow and ROG Zephyrs.
Great
For the
laptops,
graphics that
but
you only
too rich
needed
for my blood.
When you wanted
Too
it,
rich for my
then
blood.
Xtreme Mobile was a perfect use case. Now, we started ROG Ally about 5 years ago, and we always wanted to think about the expansion of ROG Ally. So when
me get my
Xtreme
Bev.
Mobile was becoming a product with Flow, we wanted to be a device that you can share in the family. So maybe in the family you have people who owns ROG laptops as well as ROG handheld like Ally, and you can share one Xtreme Mobile. So it's very cost efficient. Xtreme Mobile today has a Radeon graphics card, Radeon 6850M XT, and it also has the most powerful 4090 as well.
Indeed.
So it offers that flexibility to the user when you need to upgrade it, when you need it on the road. That's something that's truly portable.
You know, when we look at the modern ecosystem in gaming, gamers have more and more control of what kind of settings they can manipulate to maximize the performance of their game. What kind of settings has AMD built into this device to enhance that experience?
Well, some of the settings you won't see because of our long work with game developers.
Got that kombucha.
Console games to be optimized.
If you know, you know.
Hardware, PC
Kombucha
games to
that'll
be
clean you
optimized
out.
On AMD hardware, our tools, our APIs, our SDKs, our engagement with the game developers goes deep into the game developers. They're developing, they're optimizing, they're testing, they're validating on Ryzen, Radeon, and AMD technology. But over and above that, we have several software tools that the gamers themselves can use to get more performance or better image quality out of their gaming experience, depending on what their needs are and what they're trying to ultimately accomplish. One of those really cool tools that we call Radeon Super Resolution, or RSR for short. And what RSR does is it allows you, if you're not maybe getting the frames per second that you want out of a game, maybe you put something really challenging on this device, or a game 2, 3, 4 years from now that can be a little bit more challenging. You can turn on RSR and it'll upscale your game to a higher resolution from, let's say, 720p. It'll upscale it to like 1080p, full high definition.
Okay.
And to the game and to the processor, it's running that game at a lower resolution at 720p, but we are upscaling it in the rendering path to 1080p.
Oh, so that's like
you see.
That's like DS. What is it called? DSL or something like that? Nah, DSL is something else. Ha. Or DS. Yeah, whatever.
720p.
The DSS
so
something.
You're getting about 25,
on
in some cases 50% more performance out of the system. So
the other platform,
if you're on the
NVIDIA.
edge there, you can't get that 60 FPS. ASUS has developed a really cool command center interface where you just press a button, menu comes out, you turn on RSR, and you can get that huge performance boost out of the game just by pressing one button, basically.
Let's talk a little bit about the thought process of creating, this Armory Crate and Command Center and all the different shortcuts and tools that these gamers will have with the Ally.
Yeah, so we want the optimization to be easily accessible. Like ISR, for example, frame rates and resolutions are eye candies for gamers like us. It shouldn't be a process that you need to go into the control center and kind of launch it. It should be a shortcut. You just bring it out, launch it. Not only that, the command center has a bunch of new features like you can monitor your FPS, you can do a FPS limiter. There's a bunch of optimization that you can add to the command center. This is
I like
all,
that.
On a gaming experience, you don't really want to go through different settings. It just give you one simple menu and make it easier for a gamer.
Now, Rowan, this definitely feels like a turning point for handheld gaming. Where do you see both Windows and Xbox going from here?
Yeah, like I said, I really think this is going to appeal to both a console customer and a PC customer. But I'm also excited about how many people think about this now as their entry actually into PC gaming.
Right.
I
Great
think
entry point.
it's certainly more approachable. Like I've got kids.
Definitely more approachable.
Conversations in my house.
I was going to mention that
in
after.
the back seat when we're driving places, So for me, I actually think this is kind of an interesting step in a really creative way where you still get this full fidelity experience. And then, you can dock this thing and have your big screen TV experience. You can have your desktop experience if that's what you need. So to me, there's a lot of flexibility, and I can't predict where it's going to go, but I'm excited about the appeal that I think it has both to a PC player, a console player, and actually as just a new to gaming customer.
And what's really, I think the flexibility and the openness can't be understated, because you can do anything and everything you can do on your Windows PC today on this device. That's the magic of having Windows on it. So if you like using Discord, for example, just fire up Discord and use it with your friends.
Yep.
If, hey, you know what, you got to do a little bit of homework, maybe this is the only device that you brought with you, get a keyboard, mouse, hook it up to a TV, and now you can do a little bit of work, homework on it if you need to.
Kind of going back to
like if you're on the road
side of
or you're away from
there
home.
really has always been a PC community and a console community. And in the recent years, we've gotten crossplay where those communities have started to mingle and interact with each other more and more and more. But this really feels like it's fully bridged the gap and blurred that line. So what do you think the future looks like in that space?
I think it's like this, it really is this magical combination, I think, of what ASUS has developed in the actual form factor itself, the silicon that's powering this to give you that experience, but then also like Windows plus Game Pass. Like some of the stats that we have on Game Pass are pretty interesting. we're seeing 20% growth actually of Game Pass customers who are using the service across 3 or more devices.
Yeah,
So
I definitely am.
Yeah,
I definitely
it
am.
starts to show, I think,
Yeah, like
how,
he raised his
how
hand, like
flexible
I'm
people
definitely
are,
am.
and, like the fact that they are opening up and no longer locked into one specific form factor. And I think the Ally is going to accelerate that. The other thing is what does this actually mean for developers too? I think that the engagement that we're actually now seeing, like on Game Pass, our customers basically have said they're now playing 30% new genres. They're playing 40% more games, and 90% of them have basically said they're playing a title that if it wasn't for Game Pass, like Q Hi-Fi Rush, I never would have actually played that game. So to me, there's this direct correlation to the service of having 100, hundreds of games at your fingertips and increasing your engagement. And so for a developer, now they actually have a way to get in front of more players.
And discoverability is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to games.
Yep.
So you guys cater all this.
You cater all of that. And honestly, like developers, as much as their primary job is to deliver this delightful experience, they do have a business to run. Yeah. And so this idea that now there's minutes in the day that previously you wouldn't have been able to get exposure to because you were either locked to your desk or you were locked to your couch, now you have more minutes. Like you have more minutes that you can capture. So both the share of time and then hopefully the share of wallet. I think that becomes really compelling to a developer because it both gets more people playing and hopefully also helps them make more money in the process.
Yeah, I really feel like this kind of performance on a handheld seemed like a pipe dream not too far long ago. Where do you see the future of the handheld space going?
Well, I think it's the ROG Ally is an inflection point for the industry and for gamers around the world. What our teams, and we just get to be here representatives of the incredible teams that around the world work for us and we're able to make this possible. But what those teams have been able to accomplish between the performance, the efficiency, the ergonomics, the size, the weight, the openness, the compatibility, everything that we've talked about here today, it's remarkable. And it really proves how far technology has come for gamers. Like this is all developed for gamers, right? Like Game Pass and Microsoft's effort, and ROG and AMD coming together. This wasn't taking off the shelf components and like slapping them together. This was done for gamers for the purpose of leading a revolution in how gamers game and how they think about buying devices and how they think about taking their gaming with them and gaming being a bigger part of their life for them. So I think we're going to see this be a category that is going to expand in products and sizes and shapes and colors and price points and features and all these different things. And this is going to be a springboard for a bunch of innovation out there and a bunch of inspiration in the industry.
Definitely, for sure.
I think ultimately gamers are going to really gravitate to this type of a device because I mean, we've been selling hundreds of millions of gaming laptops now.
This is going to be their highest selling device. Mark my words.
Gaming laptops are awesome, and I love them, right? But there's always been this limitation of the battery life hasn't been great on them, or where can you actually use it in a mobile environment? Plane seats have gotten smaller as over time, over those 20 years as well. But this is finally a device that we can actually play everywhere and anywhere, and it's easy to carry with you, and it's truly putting thousands of games in your pocket with you anywhere you want to go. You're no longer confined by the size of your storage device because you got the cloud capability of Game Pass, which is you get into instant games thanks to that capability. We have a technology called AMD Link. So if there's a game that you have on your AMD-powered desktop at home, for example, and maybe it's not a Game Pass game, but you want to play it instantly, you can connect with our technology to your desktop at home and play that game as if your desktop was a server, for example. So there's all these innovations that have been developed over the years, all this technology, and it's just come together now into this device that takes advantage of all of it.
Indeed.
And I think people are going to really start to recognize and realize just what's possible with all the innovation and technology and everything that's finally come together into this just incredible experience.
Sean, I kind of have the same question for you. Where do you see, ROG gaming going in the future, and how is the Ally going to help drive that forward?
Gaming is one of the most engaged entertainment, and gaming is education as well. When I grew up, I learned history through Age of Empires, and then my kids create their own worlds in Minecraft. And game is gaming is art. It's hyper-realistic graphics that kind of plug you into the epic stories of the games. With ROG, we want more time for people to game. That's why we have desktops, we have laptops, we make components for you to build your own desktops. We have ROG phones. Now we have a gaming handheld, which make PC games mobile, right? So the scenario of playing games at the back seats in the air are now possible. And with all this time that gamers can have access to their beloved PC gaming contents, we also hope the publishers to think about the hard work they actually put into creating these games will be enjoyed, right? And we hope they think about all these PC games is no longer confined to a laptop, desktop type of scenario. Is now on the go.
Maybe I'll build on that a little bit, because I will say for sure it's been pushing us on the platform side of things. How do we think about the idea of you start on your PC and then you just want to take this with you and you want to pick up where you left off and you want to be immediately ready to go.
Oh, that's another question I had. Like, are they going to be able to do that?
Quick resume today. How do we think about integrating this into the
Because I could quick resume on the Steam Deck.
Really working with developers and publishers, not just our own, but also more broadly with third party. And I feel like now we can drive more of that commitment to quick save, to crossplay, and really having that be something that is truly delightful as you navigate across the breadth of devices you'll have. And the Ally, I think, is making us think differently about some of those experiences.
Yeah, you're also, the other thing to consider is, the most popular handheld gaming device that's sold out there today, and the ones that sells in tens of millions of units, that device has
he's not going to say the name.
Evolved very slightly over time. And
He's not going to say the name.
1/20th the amount of processing power.
He throwing shade. He throwing shade.
A very limited catalog
Ooh,
of games.
you talking about the Nintendo Switch?
That catalog of games will be forward compatible. It certainly wasn't backwards compatible before that device existed.
He throwing shade at the Nintendo Switch. Hey, yo.
Game, no pun intended. Just think about what everyone loves about PC and console gaming today. Is coming together into this. You're going to see technology transitions that are going to be more frequent. You're going to have the guarantee that it's going to work with the library of Windows games that are out there, not just in the past, not just today, but also in the future. It's a game changer all around.
Man, I am excited for that future to happen.
Jeez.
Well, I just want to thank you all so much for joining us here today. I mean, this has been extremely insightful, super cool to everyone that joined to watch the ROG Ally launch event. It is for pre-order right now, and it'll be.
I already pre-ordered my John.
June 13th.
So we are really close.
Yes.
Thank you all again.
That's right. Next week, next month.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Let me see if they charge my car yet. I don't think they're gonna charge it. That was a dope event. Oh, they charged my shit right away. God damn. God damn. I thought they would charge it when it's shipped. But they charged my joint right away. Ooh-wee. ROG Pulse, for those who dare.
What is up, everyone? Hello.
Oh, so this is just dudes talking about it.
Our continued coverage of the ROG Ally. We've got them. We've got them.
Hey, they got him. Hold on.
Them off.
We might watch this for a little bit.
All the details. Yes, we've just revealed all the details, but we're going to go in again in case you missed it. Woodson, what do you think?
We can talk a little bit about our own experience too, right? Like,
yeah,
we've revealed all the specs, but you and I have been gaming on this for a while, and we can talk a little bit about what it's been like to actually use it, because it is amazing. So real quick, guys, today it's going to be kind of a quick show. If you guys are unfamiliar with ROG Pulse, this is our weekly show where we talk about all things tech and gaming. We usually air on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So give us a follow. Come back, because next week we will be doing a full Q&A episode where we just talk about all things Ally. Any of the questions you guys have, you can shoot them at us. We're not really going to be answering questions today, but next week, any and all questions, you can join our Discord and ask us questions there, and we'll bring them over to the show there as well.
Yeah, so with all the information out there now, you guys have a full week to kind of figure out exactly what you're curious about, and we'll answer all of that a week from now. But this is, it's a Windows gaming handheld where you can play literally anything on it.
Yeah, anything.
It's a powerful device, so we're talking about native gaming experience being, top-notch AAA games, Steam, Epic, EA, GOG, Game Pass, Battle.net, you think of the platform, you can just install it because it's Windows.
It's funny how many people
Yep.
have asked, like, oh, is there going to be like a verified program, or like what is like, is it like a cut down? Like, it's not cut down version Windows. It's just Windows 11.
It's full Windows,
if it
yeah.
runs on Windows, it'll run on the Ally. That's how easy it is. Really, really awesome, and something that we've seen on some handhelds, but not a lot of them. We have a lot of handhelds out there that are just streaming, or they're just Android, or they're just Linux. This is everything. And not just that, but it's powerful enough to actually run everything, right? There are some Windows handhelds out there that can run any game, but not necessarily at a great frame rate or a great resolution. This is like true AAA gaming in the palm of your hand, and it is so very exciting. We've got two models. The Ryzen Z1 model, which is available for $599, and the Ryzen Z1 Extreme model, which is available for $699. Jake and I have
Yeah,
been
the
using
Extreme one, yeah.
model for a few weeks.
Gotta get the top
And if you're
tier.
doing
That's
AAA
what we
gaming,
do on this
I'll tell you
channel.
right now, like,
Gotta get the
that's,
top
I
tier.
think the one you want that's going to get you the most performance. That Z1 model is still going to be great if you are, especially if you're playing a lot more like indie and retro games or things like that, or you're only dabbling AAA and you're on a bit more of a budget. That Z1 model is still going to be great, but the Z1 Extreme is
The Z1
really
is
phenomenal,
is
for
is
sure.
still
So valuable.
So-
more powerful than the Steam Deck.
Yeah, exactly. So Jake, you've got a camera to show this baby off, don't you?
We do.
There we go.
Here
There it
in all
is.
its glory, the
There it
Ally Z1
is.
Extreme. These are, in fact, pre-production models. Even has a little sticker on the back saying, warning, this is a pre-production model.
That sticker
but-
makes me feel exclusive. Like,
It
makes me
does,
feel
right?
special. I like the sticker.
And, you know, there's no real changes to point out with that and the actual live model. These are just, you know, slightly earlier. They may have
There are
outdated
very
software
small
on
physical differences. The pre-production models has a slightly different logo here for the command center, control center button.
Right.
And the XG Mobile port is a little different as well. But
Ah.
otherwise, they're basically the same.
Well, we can talk about
I like the
ports
triggers. I like
on
the
device. We've got
triggers,
the aux
the
jack.
shoulder
We've
buttons.
got the
Headphone
micro
jack.
SD, and then you have the XG Mobile, which includes a USB Type-C. So this is your charge port. This is your one USB port on the device. And if you wanted to connect it to the XG Mobile, what do we got for the current XG Mobile versions?
We have two XG Mobiles available right now, as Sean mentioned in that performance. We've got one with an NVIDIA RTX 4090 laptop GPU that's available for $19.99. That just came out, so you may have to check your local retailers to see if it's available in your region yet. And we also have a model that uses a Radeon RX 6850M XT, and that's available for $799, which is actually an incredible deal. For that level of performance, you can plug that in here. Not only does it give you that external GPU, but you get a ton of extra I/O like Ethernet, a bunch of USB ports, regular size
HDMI.
SD card,
Yeah.
HDMI, and display ports. So you can then hook it up to like a desktop setup, right, and have a mouse, keyboard, be playing things with really high level graphics. Or you can pop it onto a TV and like hook up some wireless controllers and play with your friends. It can become any PC you want.
And it's good
Indeed.
to clarify that you don't need the XG Mobile if you wanted to use it on your TV.
Yeah.
There's just other adapters you could use just to connect it. But the XG Mobile is when you really want to power up the device, give it all that additional power and performance of up to a 4090, which is great. And there are older versions, like I've got the 3080 XG Mobile, and that still makes this
3080
thing
is
a
solid
beast.
too.
Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely.
So, yep, plus minus, and then you've got the power button, which has single
That's
sign-on.
volume. Volume is the name of that button, Jake.
What did I say? Plus minus?
Wait a minute, it said plus minus. Huh?
I'm just on autopilot. It's fine. And then, we have single sign-on with a fingerprint reader on the
That's tough.
power button, which is
Yes,
really
because
convenient.
typing in your password on a touch screen is
It's
done.
crazy. Yeah, it's
It
crazy.
is.
Yeah.
Fingerprint
Yeah.
is the future.
Fingerprint
So I
is
feel like
the
I
way,
need to
my brother.
Specifically, call out the micro SD card slot here. This is really cool because it is a UHS-2 micro SD card slot, and if you pop a high-speed micro SD card in there, you can really expand the space on the device without really sacrificing load times. Like the load times on that micro SD card slot are within 4% or something of the built-in SSD. So you can just load up on games. You don't have to worry about opening the device and upgrading it and things like that. If you don't want to, just pop in a micro SD and go.
That being said, if you did want to swap out the M.2, you can. It's absolutely
You can. It is not
accessible,
soldered in. You
and
can
you're
open it up.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I like that.
In
It
fact-
uses the really small SSDs. I don't remember the the name now, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
super
the
small
half
form
size
factor
one. They're
ones.
like,
So
you know how the
you've got
regular
options.
SSDs are like this
And
big.
options are good.
The
but
other
this
one is
is,
like it's like a
easy
square. Yeah,
expansion.
I know what he's
That's
talking about.
Really little to no sacrifice in terms of load times and just speed. That's huge.
Yep.
So we got
So
yeah
go
the
ahead.
triggers. Yeah, we've got the bumpers and the triggers. They feel really nice. Have a nice little texture to them. The vents on the top here also just that's where all the hot air is being
I feel like
dumped
we
out.
got to call out the vents specifically because so they talked about the cooling in this presentation, right? And again, like this episode of Pulse, I want to be able to talk about like what it's actually like to use. It is so much quieter than I expected.
Okay.
It is, the more compact you make a device, the tougher cooling becomes. But dude, this thing, it does not get super hot and it stays really quiet, even in
Really
turbo
quiet.
mode.
No, it is.
I feel like we need to rename silent mode because turbo mode is already pretty silent.
I feel like most laptops, if not all laptops, make more noise than this device. It is
Straight up.
insane at how silent this device is.
They did an incredible job with the cooling on this. Not only that, then the speakers are also louder than I expected.
Yeah.
Because you expect like speakers that small to, sometimes they can be kind of tinny or not super like full bodied. Dude, those speakers sound great.
Full
Not
body
that
is
like
the
my
correct
wife
word.
wants me like turning up the volume while I'm playing the Ally in bed next to her, but it is on occasions where you are doing that. It's awesome. They've got our Dolby Atmos license built into the device, so you can get your Dolby Atmos spatial sound from the speakers or from your headphones, which is really cool. We talked about that on a previous episode. Really nice as well.
We are. This is a gaming device, yes, but it is again full Windows. So for movies, you name it, Netflix, HBO, whatever you want to do, streaming or just downloading movies straight to your device. You
can download the Netflix app through Windows 10, and then you can download movies for the plane.
Yeah.
It's a bigger screen than your phone.
Movies sound awesome on this, like these speakers or Bluetooth. Or
I like the form factor. It looks very.
It really doesn't
very
have
professional.
any limitations like some of the other handheld gaming devices. Like I'm not going to call out any devices in particular, but a lot of it isn't there. Whereas here you've just
Okay, let me mute them real quick so you can still see the device. Let me mute them and talk my shit for a little bit. So I like the form factor. It's very professional, very limited. I've seen it up close next to a Steam Deck. It's like way smaller than a Steam Deck. Like not way smaller, but it's more manageable than a Steam Deck. A Steam Deck is very clunky, but very comfortable to hold. Like I have a Steam Deck in there. And this device is even smaller, a smaller form factor, still looks like it's comfortable to hold, and it's more powerful. This might be the one. This might be the killer. Like Steam Deck is always going to have its place for the enthusiasts that like to, go into the settings and not hack, but like go into the settings and like do certain shit with the and tweak it and put emulation on it. Not to say people won't put emulation on this because it's Windows based, but I think this device right here is a better out of the box experience than you would get with the Steam Deck or the IA Neo, because all the other companies that make it, IA Neo, IN, all those other companies, they have to charge a crazy price. Like some of these devices, Windows-based devices, Android-based devices, some of these are in the thousands of dollars and can't even do what the Steam Deck or this does. So this is the greatest so far. This device is the greatest cost to performance device that I've seen. So that's why I ordered it right off the bat. Like my pre-order is in. You feel me? So, it's up to you. I feel like if you're into this field of getting these handheld devices, they are pricey, so you got to plan accordingly. I know people got to pay bills and stuff. I pay all my own bills. I don't live with nobody, but I make sure that I get, I get what I need, and I make sure that I make room to get what I want, because you should be able to get what you want in life. You work hard, you work hard, you play hard. So, yeah, this device is pretty dope, so I'm going to let them take over.
Is if the paddles could act as shortcut buttons, or you can map them to whatever you want. So by default, these are like kind of like the function key on your laptop. So you can do things like hold one of these buttons and press A, and it'll take a screenshot of your game. And a lot of things. So all the buttons have secondary functions using those paddles. But then in certain games, if you want to, you can map those buttons to in-game functions. So some games, I actually like to map those back paddles to act as the bumpers, because sometimes my fingers don't quite reach the bumpers as easily, just because my fingers are weird like that. The paddles are your hands are already on them, so you can touch them quicker, which I really like. So you can remap all of the buttons, almost all of the buttons on the device, however you want, and create, add your own secondary functions through those macro paddles, which is primo.
One of the default paddle functions, if you hold the left paddle back, you just is it gonna not do it for me because I'm in a game? I actually haven't tried it while in a game. It should pull Control Alt Delete, but it's not doing it.
No, that's not Control Alt Delete. That's the Command Center button.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm confusing myself. Yes,
Yeah, so if you hold the
down.
Command Center
Oh,
button, you get Control Alt
nice.
Delete, makes it really easy to shut down the machine.
Yeah.
And then actually, if you go back, if you hold the Armory Crate button on the right side, that will show you all of your key mappings.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
Tough.
a really handy function as well.
But
if
you could
aren't
program
sure
these
what
macro
all the
paddles
buttons
to do all different kinds of stuff like that, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had
Which
Hades
is
running and
really, really cool.
I didn't plan on playing Hades during the stream, but it's just like, oh, it's right
But
there.
now it's just happening.
It's just there.
I mean, Hades is like one of the.
And you
perfect
see
games
how he
for
said
this thing.
You see, I said I didn't plan on playing Hades during the stream. Like, with these devices, it changes your gaming habits. Like, you'll find yourself gaming in situations where you wouldn't normally be gaming. You feel me? Like, especially if you're a person that likes to, like me, you like to just jump on for an hour or two while you're like, with me, I work from home, while you're working, or get a quick session in, before you have to do something important, and then move on with your day. Like, it changes your gaming habits, and you might find yourself playing a game that you have been stuck in your backlog that you never started. You might end up playing it for like 3 hours. Like, that's happened to me a lot. Like, I know, let's use for an example, like a handheld. Like, I started playing Dying Light on my Steam Deck, and then on my Logitech G Cloud, which is an Android-based device, I started playing. What did I start playing? I started playing Call of Duty Mobile a lot, and like I done leveled up. I done leveled up to a crazy amount, and I'm doing the ranked matches and stuff. And now they have key mapping, so I'm mapping the keys to the. You really get it. You really get indulged in this handheld. I was talking to Savage Wolf earlier in the chat, like, and I was just saying that, these devices are gonna rejuvenate the handheld market. I think the handheld market has already been rejuvenated, but once they can get it to, I think once you can get these devices to be this powerful, or as powerful as the Steam Deck, and you can get it under 500, which the Steam Deck has accomplished already. They have a 350. I think they have a 350 model. Let me check Steam. I don't want to quote their prices wrong, but yeah, it's becoming increasingly affordable. Now, granted, the company might lose money on the devices up front, but I think with the enthusiasm and with with these devices becoming more accessible, I think more people will buy into it instead of like buying the whole PC. So the cheapest way you can get, I think the best value proposition you can get other than this, would be the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is here. So the Steam Deck would be, in case you don't know what it looks like, well, you never heard of a Steam Deck, which would be weird if you're watching this video. But yeah, so you can see the similarities, but they're kind of worlds apart. So $399 would be the cheapest one. Excuse me. But this thing looks awesome, so I'll let them take over again.
You don't realize how big a difference that makes until you see them side by side. Like, the colors on this are so much better, much less washed out than some of the other subpar displays out there. And most importantly, to me, it has FreeSync. Okay, so they showed some performance numbers up there, and when you're dealing with performance that kind of fluctuates or hovers around 60 or just under it, if you have a 60 hertz screen and you're getting like 55 frames per second, it's going to look a little bit stuttery unless you have FreeSync. So you could be running the exact same frame rate on this than you are on another non-FreeSync handheld, and it's going to look so much smoother on this one because it's not doing that thing where it shows one frame twice, then one frame once, and then another frame twice or whatever. Big upgrade, and I'm really glad that we went through the work to include that.
I think it's one of the most important features in this device for sure. I mean,
think it is.
It's great to be able to push up to 120 FPS, but FreeSync is really the game changer overall.
It is, for sure. And of course, it's got that sweet Gorilla Glass Victus with the DXC coating, which is nice. You're seeing a little bit. Jake has some very strong studio lights on it, so you're seeing some of that glare now. But in most circumstances, I don't notice any kind of glare coming from other stuff. Jake's lights are just too bright.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's
your brightness is also all the way down right now, though. It is, so the camera can see it.
Right.
So the brightness actually goes up to 500 nits, and then you're gonna get less of that glare and air. It's gonna, when you're in like direct sunlight or something like that, you're not gonna have as many issues because you could pump up the brightness a lot higher. It's just a little bit too bright for the camera exposure.
Looks a little crazy with it.
Yeah, that's super bright.
So I like to bring it down.
I'm pretty impressed about how bright this thing can get.
Yeah,
but you never know what scenario.
No joke.
But we want you to be able to play all your games anywhere, outside by the pool, on the beach, you name it. This is definitely.
I was saying, I mean, with that money, why not get a PC?
Got a good network connection somewhere you can game online. You can.
We just
stream
aren't.
Games
We just
or
aren't
Xbox
where
Cloud
exactly
gaming, things like that. We've talked about this before.
It's not reasonable
A
to
good
pay
Wi-Fi
that
chip makes
for
all the
mobile
difference when you're
gaming
streaming games.
against fiber for those prices.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still think that. Let me mute them real quick. Yeah, I still think that it's at an enthusiast level, but if you look at the enthusiast market, there's a lot of us out there, me being one of them, and I know some of these enthusiast niggas got way more money than I do, so there is a market for this stuff. That's why there's so many devices out there. But as far as for it to get to a crazy like consumer level, like they'll have to lower the price and lower the barrier of entry. And what I mean when I say barrier of entry is like there's a learning curve to the shit. Like most people will take $700 and just buy a desktop. But really, realistically, you could take $700, buy this shit, and that could be your desktop as well. But people don't know that. People don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? We're in the era of where, people want to do shit on the go, but people don't understand that you could do PC on the go, and it doesn't have to be your big ass laptop sitting on your lap. So I think this is just the beginning. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I think as more of these devices come out, they'll become more, less intimidating, because I know the Steam Deck is super intimidating for somebody who don't know shit about computers. This is more accessible, but at the same time, people gonna be like, "Damn, like why would I spend that much?" Like Cardiac, you said it's not reasonable to pay that for mobile gaming. Like it's fire, but for those prices, it's crazy. But that's the lens you're looking at it through like not saying it's a bad thing, but like being like a casual person like that's in this market. Like me, I've been studying this market for a long time. So it's definitely at an enthusiast level. So once we could get it to where people like you are saying, yo, I want to get one of these shits, then that's when it'll really take off. Like it'll really, really take off. But right now it's definitely at a enthusiast. The market for this is like enthusiast that wants his gaming rig on the go. His or her gaming rig on the go. So I'm gonna let them take back over.
But it's perfect. Like I honestly have no complaints. And the thing about playing a game,
you look like the worst Jedi ever.
I know, it's fine. I'm just trying to show the button responsiveness.
I'm still here. I just gotta keep wiping my nose. I don't try to be looking at me digging all in my nose while I'm streaming.
Because this is like a clean save.
A good network connection makes all the difference with streaming. So if you've tried it and it didn't quite work out for you, like try it with a device that has a better Wi-Fi chip.
Yeah.
Because I was shocked at how big the difference was just between the two phones that I have. The ROG phone handles streaming so much better than my older phone.
Right.
Because it's got like an actual quality Wi-Fi chip in it.
But yeah, the only
And I know another argument would be like, okay, well, why not just get like an Android phone and just stream the games on there? Because this device gives you basically a full gaming PC experience in your pocket. It's like bringing your rig with you. I think they said that in the presentation. It's like bringing your whole rig with you, and that's definitely like a enthusiast mindset. Again, I know I keep using that word, but that's the market for it. It's people that's like that. Like, it's not. I know they want to get more casual people into it, but I feel like it's still too intimidating. Like, all this is a little bit too intimidating. Like, that's why I wish I had more people in here that are into PC gaming, but not really, to get their opinion on it to see. But I'm gonna try to chop this up and make a short form video out of this, because I forgot to record it in OBS, but hopefully I could download it off YouTube and chop these parts up so we could get a handle on what people think about it. But because you see how I'm super excited about it, and I pre-ordered it day one, but y'all are saying shit, you might as well just buy a PC for that. Like, that's the gap right there. The enthusiasts, and then people who are gamers but just thinking, I'll just stick with my gaming PC or my console. That's the gap right there that they have to bridge, to where we're both like not super enthusiastic like I am, but not turned off by it like you guys are. They got to find that middle ground if they really want to make this the future of gaming, to where we don't even need to buy like huge home consoles or whatever.
Or something like that, right? You have some
Yep.
other options. The LED brightness you can change on the fly.
Yep.
That kind of stuff I think is really useful to have in there, so I can pop
take a
in and out the things
screenshot,
that I do and
like,
don't use.
Yep. Airplane mode, a quick toggle for that. If you're going to be traveling a lot, you want to use airplane mode a lot. Yeah, all of that's at your fingertips. It's really great.
Yep. And so the FPS limiter I think is actually really useful. It's funny. I think a lot of people are going to use that because some people, you can use it to save battery life if you want. If you're playing something that can run it, like I could play Dead Cells at 120 FPS. But if I'm sitting down and I know that I need battery, like I'm waiting at the DMV and I could be there all day, like I'll put on a frame limiter to 60.
Yeah, that's gonna be me soon. Shit.
The other
Waiting
thing
at
is
the
that I know a
DMV.
lot of people. This is weird, and I'm not one of these people. But if you are one of these people, I don't judge you too much. Some people prefer a stable 30 frames per second over like 45 that fluctuates. I disagree very strongly with those people.
But hey, they've got.
I mean, those people exist.
If
Those,
that's something if you want
those
to
people do exist.
the crank up the visuals in a game and drop it below 60. And then turn on the frame limiter so it's a stable 30 frames per second with like more high quality visuals. You can do that.
We've even got the 15 FPS option for the true savages out there. Why that option exists is beyond me, but that's okay.
For people who want that really old school experience,
The pain and suffering,
I don't want to name devices, but there have been devices and game consoles that had games that ran at like 15 frames per second. Like we were there. We remember. Remember.
No, I don't remember. I deleted that from my brain because that's torture.
But yeah, so that's the other cool thing about Armory Crate here. You mentioned performance modes. If you go back into Armory Crate, you can kind of show your list of games. So obviously, we talked about how Armory Crate shows your entire game library. But what I like about this is that you can highlight a game and press X to alter the game's profile.
Let me ask y'all something. Like, whoever's still, like, if Cardiac Savage, if y'all still in the chat, you watched the presentation with me. You've heard my thoughts. You've heard the presentation. Like, what would be a price point for you, or what would it take for you to invest in this, like as far as price point or features or whatever? What would it take for you to invest in it, or is it just not your lane and you just don't really see yourself ever getting into this kind of stuff?
Right, so you can start with like your global gamepad settings, or you can be like, you know what, I want the exact same controls in God of War that I have in Spider-Man. So Kratos can swing from tree to tree. No, it's more like if you want the same dead zones on your sticks and triggers and things like that in one game that you have in another, you could kind of use that as a starting point for your game profile.
And just in case like anybody out there is like worried thinking that this is something that you have to do, no. I actually have not played with this at all because I just launched the game and it plays the game. It maps, all the bindings are there. It's Windows, right? So it's just treating it like an Xbox controller. Everything is ready to go for you. So I just wanted to make sure that I was.
Yeah. You don't have to go in and map things manually. Like it'll just work out of the box, and it basically recognizes it as a traditional controller.
Yep,
which is also cool.
I like that.
Of course, when you're on the desktop, you can use the sticks to move the mouse around and click around like the Windows desktop, which is also nice for when you're installing games or changing Windows settings.
I'm currently in gamepad mode, so it doesn't want to use it as a mouse.
Oh, okay. By default, it's in auto mode, and it'll switch back and forth as it sees fit.
Yeah, there we go.
You can also use the touchscreen in Windows, which is really nice because Windows obviously has been, Microsoft has been making touch devices and pushing touch devices for a long time, and so they've built in a lot of really good touch functionality into Windows already. We didn't have to do anything special to make the Ally run with Windows with a touchscreen. Like, it's all just there.
I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about is seeing this continue to evolve. I mean, this device is already so phenomenal, but this is the first Windows device, and I think that the ecosystem will
It's our first Windows device.
It's the first Windows handheld device, right?
There are others.
No, there aren't.
This
They're not even worth considering.
Yes.
Ooh, he
that's
throwing
the thing.
shots.
This is, to me, one of the
Damn.
biggest kickers.
He
right?
throwing
We have
shots.
all of this stuff we just talked about that makes this the best handheld on the market, hands down. But as if all that weren't enough, this is the device that you can actually go to Best Buy, pay, you give them money, and they give you the box, right?
Yeah.
Right there in the store. You walk home, you start playing it. You have a company with an office in the U.S. or Europe or wherever you live that offers support. It's not like some of these other handhelds where you're have to do a Kickstarter and then wait 6 months for them to ship it to you, and then dealing with it is no, just go to Best Buy. By the way, you can actually go to bestbuy.com right now and pre-order it. You're seeing links in the chat, hopefully, if our bot is working. And pre-order it because it's coming. Get it now while you can.
Now, these are going to actually have demo units at Best Buy as well. So if this is something that you just want to go and check out and try, you're most of the way there.
In your hands first.
Yeah, you really want to feel that weight. You really want to feel the shape of it. That's the beauty of having it physical.
And of course, when we talk Best Buy, on the ASUS shop, and in other countries, more to come soon, I think. So, again, this is a global show, so we don't have information on every single country here, but the Ally is launching globally and hopefully coming to a store near you.
It'll be on shelves in about a month. $5.99 and $6.99 for the two versions. You can pre-order now.
It's a good price.
Ally in chat. It's a great price. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, and again, come back next week. We'll be doing a Q&A. You can ask questions live, but I recommend joining our Discord. Type !Discord in chat to see it. If you ask your questions in the Discord thread that we will be creating, it gives us a little bit more time, especially for the really technical questions, to go to the engineers and ask them if it's something that we can find out. We know a lot of stuff about the Ally, but if you're asking really, really specific questions, we might have to go find the answer for you. And we may not have an answer for everything out of the gate, but hopefully we'll be able to answer a lot of the questions that I know you guys have had for weeks and weeks and weeks.
And we will be streaming with the Ally here on Twitch before the official launch. So if you want to see some actual real-life performance, these are the pre-units. We're really
can't stream with the pre-production units, but the real production units we'll hopefully have very soon to stream with.
So fingers crossed, but we should have it. I'm confident.
Yeah, and then you guys can really see it in action. I'm excited. We'll also have a ton of guides going up on the ROG website. So if you want to know how to remap buttons,
they said a lot.
How to get the best battery life out of your device, we're going to be publishing, I think, some optimized game settings, right? So if you have a game that you want to play and you want to know the best settings for that balance of graphical fidelity performance, we'll be having that information for you guys on the site as well. So definitely head over to rog.asus.com and check that out.
Lots of good stuff coming. The Ally's here soon. Thanks for everyone for tuning in to our Ally launch event today. GG's.
Yes, sir.
See you next time.
GG's in the motherfucking chat. Yes, sir. All right. So that was the whole event and the after event. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff in there. And I'm glad that they actually went through the settings and played around with it afterwards. I already have my pre-order. It's right here. Well, I'm in New York State, so you know the tax is gonna be kind of crazy. I had a little coupon. That's why it says other savings. I had a little $5 coupon that they gave me for being a loyal customer. But yeah, there it goes. The Zephyrus, the Z1 Extreme model is available now. The one for $5.99, the Z1, is not available yet. So you cannot order it yet. Let me go to the page so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me see. How am I going to do this? Yeah, right there. So you cannot order it just yet. It comes out later in Q3. So Q3, off the top of my head, I don't know what Q3 is. Somebody might know fiscal, like the fiscal year, the fiscal calendar. So Q3 dates. Q3 2023 dates. So Q3 is July 1st through September 30th. So that's probably going to be towards the later half. You're probably going to be able to order it towards the latter half of Q3. No, towards the early half of Q3, which would be July 1st. And then you'll probably receive it during the latter half or in the fourth quarter, which would be holiday season, basically. That's why I got, but me, I was gonna get the most powerful one anyway, because I'm just like, I'm bougie like that. You know, that's just what I like. That's just what I like to do. But my fault. I just gotta wipe my nose and shit. I would see y'all digging all of my nose on my stream, but my allergies kicking my ass. But yeah, word. That's all we gonna do for right now. I really want to get back on later. I probably will get back on later, stream another game. But for now, I'm going to get my daily duties done because this is like the first thing I've done in the morning. I'm going to see if I can chop this up, get some clips out of it. Hopefully you two let me do that because I was not recording on OBS. I don't know why, but I wasn't. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. And I will see y'all later. So y'all already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy, Just